Hey, it works. All right, so as you can see here, we got the podcast equipment all set up in the new studio, and I figured what better way to test it out than making life difficult again and talking about my senior research. All jokes aside, it honestly feels like every time I make a video talking about my research, things get complicated. And for those of you that are maybe unaware, currently in the final semester of a bachelor's degree in cannabis chemistry, and as a part of that, I have to do a senior capstone research project. I shouldn't say I have to. I get the chance to. I'm lucky enough to. Anyways, my research was focused on vape cartridges, and it suggested that PCTG, or polycyclohexylene dimethylene terephthalate glycol modified, potentially maybe leaching into these vape cartridges. Honestly, I kind of jumped the gun on sharing the findings, but I did so because I personally don't think that science should ever be gatekept, and science shouldn't be a secret. I also think that when it comes to potential health or product safety issues, we should share those findings. But shortly after I released the video, I was asked to kind of take a step back and hold off on sharing more findings or parts of the process. That's why I've been kind of radio silent on this over the past couple weeks. But now we're kind of getting an Uno reverse card dropped, and I've been asked to make this video kind of sharing how we can really back up our claims that PCTG could potentially be leaching from vape cartridges. So let's break it down. Where we're at now is I was able to do a gravitometric analysis which showed mass loss, but more importantly, it allowed me to recover a measurable yield of PCTG from each vape cartridge. From there, I was able to perform FTIR and Raman spectroscopy, which allows me to essentially understand the chemical fingerprint of the unknown that we had. And that chemical fingerprint matched almost identically to PCTG, or one of the PCTG mixes that you would expect to find in a cannabis vape cartridge tank. After that, I did a melting point analysis, and although our melt temp apparatus is not perfect by any means for doing this type of experiment, the melting point range was what you would expect for PCTG. Really wish that I had access to TGA so that I could better understand the thermal decomposition data, but you have to work with what you got. Which brings me up to my next point. I'm currently waiting on the chance to get into the NMR, which will allow me to get a true chemical structure and backbone and really visualize what we have here. Beyond that, I would love to get a GC TOF run or two in. That would really further provide some molecular level confirmation on top of just aiding in some purity analysis. Beyond that, I also plan on doing some various microscopy techniques. We'll probably end up doing plain polarized light microscopy in addition to utilizing our SEM, which is coupled with an EDS detector. I don't know if we'll end up using the EDS detector, but we have that at our disposal, along with micro XRF. So we have a handful of instruments that we've been able to employ and a couple that we plan on using, but that's really where we're at now. Originally, I planned on vlogging this whole entire process step by step and sharing it probably as like a final video after the study was published, but as you heard, I kind of held off on filming, but now I've been asked to clarify, and that's where we stand. So yeah, I shared my findings early, and do I regret it? No, I don't, but if I had the chance to rewind and do it again, I certainly would do it a different way, but you live and you learn, right? So yeah, to wrap this whole video up, I'm currently working on finishing those final experiments and hopefully wrapping up the writing process in the next few weeks. I'll try and share updates as I go, but honestly, I can't promise anything. What I can promise though is we're going to get better at fine-tuning this mic and certainly getting some better quality videos for you guys. I cannot wait to start making more content and sharing it with everyone. I've been really kind of enjoying this whole process of building this little mini studio. I know the editing is probably going to be crude to start off, but hey, we'll get there eventually, right? So that's really it for this video. If you've made it this far, I appreciate you watching. Definitely like, comment, leave any questions you have. If I'm able to get back to you on it, I certainly will. And I appreciate everyone for following along. If you think that someone you know might be interested, definitely send them this video and have them look back on my profile. The pin post has that first video that I was talking about. But yeah, that's it for this one. Have a great one.